What's up, y'all? It's Flames, back at it again today with another video. Today, gonna be reading through Genesis 1-2 and continuing off of yesterday. You know, like I said, I'm uploading every single day until I don't have to work anymore, so I can quit my job. I'm uploading a video every single day, no matter what. And right now, I'm trying to work with Xfinity to get my Wi-Fi set up. And as soon as I get my Wi-Fi set up, I'm about to be doing the same Bible reading every day, except I'm probably gonna have it like to where I'm just in a corner and then I got like gameplay going on, like just from like a certain game, you know, just so like, you know, people don't really just like, it's kind of a boring video, just me, you know, sitting here talking. And obviously, you know, like I said before, you know, I'm gonna be doing regular content, not just Christianity stuff, regular content. But I'm gonna have like probably like I'm like a game that I'm good at, put it in the background, and then just have my voice, and then maybe me up in the corner. You know, let me know what kind of games y'all want me to play. Once probably gonna be doing videos in this kind of format for the next few days, and then, you know, once I get everything rolling, I need new Wi-Fi because I need to get clips, or I need to get, you know, content for, you know, playing games. But, you know, the easiest way for me personally to do that is to get like a stream going and then clip out some of the stream, put it into a video editor and stuff like that. But my Wi-Fi is so doo-doo. It's so doo-doo that I gotta get new internet, bro. I gotta get my own. I can't share the Wi-Fi. It's no more. But yeah, so without further ado, about to get into this. Big things coming on the way for this channel, bro. Invest now. I promise you the videos are going to be very high quality. I'm going to put a lot of time into editing, and I'm going to perfect it. So, you know, great things are, it's not going to be like this forever, you know. But yeah, let's get back into reading the word, bro. Okay, let's see. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the hosts of them. And on the seventh day God finished his work that he had done, and he rested on the seventh day from all the work that he had done. So God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it God rested from all his work that he had done to creation. So basically, you know, so in the Old Testament, before, you know, Jesus, you know, really became who he was, obviously, since, you know, the New Testament is after Jesus and the Old Testament is before Jesus, they had, the Jewish people had something called Sabbath, and on the Sabbath, you can't do anything. Like, even Jews now, like, they won't even drive their cars on Sunday. Like, they don't do nothing, because, you know, and because of this verse right here, because God tells them, you know, it's time to rest. Now, that was very extreme, and God still wants us to take a day each week to be able to kind of sit back and relax and not really have to do much work. You know what I'm saying? But back then, you know, they were so extreme with this rule. Matter of fact, that one time Jesus was walking on the field and he took a grain, like he picked like a grain, like there's like, you ever seen like just like a little like wheat grains, like just like up in the air, and he just took a little bit off and like ate it or something like that. I don't remember the full story, so I don't know if that's 100% correct. But what I do know is that the Pharisees, who were the Jewish leaders at the time, they condemned him for that because they said he was working. He did that little, like, it's just like, come on, man. Like, are y'all being for real? Are y'all being for real right now? Like, this is not that big of a deal that I just did this. You know, this is not like, why are y'all tripping off of me just doing this little thing? Like, yeah, it's supposed to be a day of rest, but you guys are doing too much. Like, you guys, you know, he said a very, you know, eventually we're going to get to that point in the Bible. Maybe I'll make another video talking about it, but he made a very good analogy, you know, because Jesus talks in parables. So he made a whole story and explained, basically telling him, like, look, like, yeah, we're supposed to rest, but you guys are over religiousizing everything. Like, it doesn't need to be this extreme, you know. Like, I'm not like picking and choosing. There's bigger things that you got to worry about. So God still wants us to take a day each week to kind of reset and, you know, go to church. You know, Sunday I haven't even been going to church, so that's a whole different topic. But wants to take that Sunday or whatever day to rest, but it's not a complete, like, you can't do anything. That's an exaggeration. The creation of man and woman. These are the generations of the heavens and the earth when they were created. And the day that the Lord God made the earth and the heavens, when no bush of the field was yet in the land, and no small plant in the field had yet sprung up, for the Lord God had not caused it to rain on the land, and there was no man to work the ground. And a mist was going up from the land, and the watering of the whole face of the ground. And then the Lord God formed the man of dust from the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. And the man became a living creature. So God took some dirt and said, boom, here's man. Here's made a man. And a mist was going up from the land, and was watering the whole face of the ground. Then the Lord God formed And the Lord God planted a garden in Eden in the east, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground the Lord God made to spring up every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food. The tree of life was in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. A river flowed out of Eden to water the garden, and there it divided and became 4 rivers. The name of the first river, the name of the first is the Pishon. It is the one that flowed around the whole land of Haviah, where there is gold. And the gold of that land is good. Bdellium and onyx stone are there. I don't know what those are. I think that's probably some sort of ore, I would assume. It is the one that flowed around the whole land of Cush. And the name of that third river is the Tigris, which flows east of Arisha. And the fourth river is the Euphrates. Oh, I skipped a part. And the name of the second river is the Gihon. Okay, so it's basically saying that there's 4 rivers that are in the garden. The Lord God took the man and put him in the garden of Eden to work it and keep it. And then the Lord God commanded the man, saying, you may surely eat out of every tree in the garden, but the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat, for in the day that you eat of it, you shall surely die. So God had this vast, just a beautiful, amazing garden, had made everything perfect. This kind of, he doesn't really get into this, but there was no, or he does, but not, just yet. There was no, there was no bad, at this point, no evil in the world. Everything is pure. So God only has one rule for this man. Do not eat from the tree of knowledge. Don't do it. It's not what you're supposed to do. Then the Lord said, it is not good that the man should be alone. Nobody wants to be lonely, right? So I will make a helper fit for him. Now out of the ground the Lord God had formed every beast of the field and every bird of the heavens, and brought them to man to see what he would call them. And whatever the man called every living creature, that is what was its name. The man gave names to all the livestock and all the birds of the heavens, and to every beast in the field. But for Adam there was not found a helper fit for him. So out of all the animals, see, I must be tripping a little bit. I know Adam and Eve. I know who Adam is. I don't remember Adam even his name being introduced, but I guess here it shows that maybe I missed a part of reading. My reading skills, I'm a little rusty. I've been out of school for a little bit. I'm a little rusty. Okay, so please bear with me. But Adam, out of all the animals, he named every single animal. God created all these different animals, and Adam said to God, he's like, yo, God, none of these are suitable to help me. They're not it. So the Lord caused a deep sleep to fall upon the man, and while he slept, he took one of his ribs and closed up the place with flesh. So I forgive me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure if this is completely true, but I'm pretty sure man and woman have a different set amount of ribs. And I think this is kind of a testament to the story. Like, if I'm not mistaken, I think we have one less rib than a woman. I'm not sure. But, caused deep sleep to fall upon the man. And the rib that the Lord God had taken from the man, he made into a woman and brought him to the man. Then the man said, "This at last is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of a man. Therefore a man shall leave his father and his mother and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. And the man and the wife were both naked and were not ashamed." So back then, you know, they didn't have the sort, like, obviously I can't go outside butt ass naked. Like, I can't do that. Back then there was no societal norms, so they were just naked and afraid, pretty much. But basically what this is saying is God created woman to be a helper for the man. So when you hear stuff today like, yes, and also the fact that man was taken from woman, or woman was taken from man, it means that it shows that man and woman are equal. However, they're equal, but they don't have the same rules. A woman is supposed to be a wife and help the man out, and God says here, after you get up and go with your parents, you go and find your wife, and you two become one flesh. That's why when you sleep with somebody, soul tie, you guys become, like, if you have sex with a woman, you become one. Like, that's what that means. You two, whether it's just a random hookup or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's very spiritual. That's why you can't go around sleeping with random. You can't do that. No, you can't. You're gonna fuck your head up. You can't do it. Man and woman come together as one. Okay. And yeah, that's the end of the chapter. The next chapter, it's going to be talking about temptation. And the very first, a lot of y'all that read the Bible, a lot of people know the story. It's taught, in church a lot when you're young or whatever. The next chapter is going to be talking about how sin gets introduced into the world, and the reason that me and you today suffer so much in this world is because of this next chapter we're going to see. Because God did not originally create the earth with sin. Everything was perfect and there was no problems, and you're going to see one mistake messed up the whole trajectory for the rest of the world. However, God, he already knew this was going to happen. But yeah, this one messed it up big time. It's all right. We'll get into that next time. See y'all later.